Hello everyone, Scooty 007 here bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. In today's game we have the 1-5 Houston Astros taking on the 4-1 Chicago Cubs. And here is the starting lineup for the Houston Astros. Leading off, the center fielder, Michael Bourne. Batting second, the right fielder, Hunter Pence. Batting third, the first baseman, Darren Estrada. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the left fielder, Carlos Lee. Batting fifth, the shortstop, Miguel Teja. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Mark Loretta. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Thomas Perez. Batting eighth, the catcher, J.R. Towles. And on the mound and batting ninth, the pitcher, Brandon Backey. On the mound for the Cubbies, it is Carlos Zambrano, who ERA 3.86 coming into this game. No wins, no losses. 3.86 pitched, 7 innings, allowed 4 hits, 5 runs, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. We're here at historic Wrigley Field, which gives a +2 to strikeouts and a +1 to walks. And with that, we are ready to start as Michael Bourne steps up into the batter's box. He's batting a 190. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 2-1. 2-1 is a strike. That's a 14. That's a 10. Struck him out. Next up, that's going to be Hunter Pence. Pence batting a 185. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 1-6. 1-6 is a wild pitch. We're going to re-roll the bones for that. And that's going to be 3-6. 3-6 is a strikeout. That's a 13. That's a 7. Struck him out. And that's going to bring up Darren Estrada. Estrada batting a 1,000. Here's the pitch. 6-5, double question mark. Double star and a 1-20. That's an 8. And that's going to be a fly ball to Fukudome. And that retires the side. So the Cubs retire the Astros in order, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the first. And here is the starting lineup for the Chicago Cubs. Leading off, the left fielder, Alfonso Soriano. Batting second, the center fielder, Reed Johnson. Batting third, the first baseman, Derek Lee. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the third baseman, Ramirez. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Kiyosuke Fukudome. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Mark DeRosa. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Ryan Thurot. Batting eighth, the catcher, Henry Blanco. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Carlos Zambrano. On the mound for the Astros, it is Brandon Backey. Backey comes into this game with an ERA of 7.20. 1 loss, 7.20 ERA, pitched 5 innings, allowed 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. And here we go. Alfonso Soriano steps up. He's batting a 350. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 5-6. 5-6 is going to be a walk. That's an 11. That's a 3. And they start off with a walk to Alfonso. All right, next up, it's Reed Johnson. Reed Johnson batting a 500. First of all, we have a pickoff attempt. That's a 12. Nothing there. Infield at normal depth. 3-4. That's going to be a range play. And that's going to be 5-2, 5-2 to Pence. Pence's range is in a 1 to 4. That's a 1. He gets the play. And that's going to hold Alfonso at first. Derek Lee comes up. Lee batting a .391. Strategy rolls an 11. Infield coming in now to double play depth. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 5-6. That's going to be a walk. That's a 12. The 14 is too high. So it's no walk there. 5-2. And that's going to be a fly ball to Pence. Out number 2. And that's going to bring up Ramirez. Ramirez batting a .389. Strategy roll 5. Here's the pitch. 6-1 at the ballpark. We're going to go to Wrigley Field for this one. 2-2 HRP. And that is a home run pass, Lee. And that ball is high. That ball is deep. And that ball is out of here. 2-run home run for Ramirez. Fly ball out of here. And that is a 2-run home run for Ramirez. And next up, it's going to be Kioske. Kioske batting an .045. That's going to be a 5-6. 5-6 is going to be a walk. That's a 14. That's a 5. And they walk Kioske. Mark DeRosa. DeRosa batting a .313. Here's the pitch. 2 outs. And that's going to be 6-1. And that's going to be at the ballpark. 2-4. Fly ball to Lee. And that retires the side. 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 1. Chicago 2. Houston nothing. We go to the top of the second. It's Carlos Lee, Miguel Tejada, and Mark Loretta due up for the Astros. Here's the pitch to Carlos Lee. Lee batting a .318, and that's going to be a 6-4 home run chance on a 1 to 14. That's an 11. Lee with a 2, and Lee hits a solo home run. Home run for Carlos Lee, and that puts the Astros on the board. And what a way to start off this inning. Home run in the last inning from the Cubs, home run now for Chicago, and that's going to bring up Miguel Tejada. Tejada batting a .215 to 125. Here's the pitch to Miguel. That's going to be a 4-6. 4-6 is a home run. That's a 2. That's a 7. And that is back-to-back home runs for the Astros. And with that, the Astros have tied this game up. No outs. And that's going to bring up Mark Loretta. Loretta batting a .300. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-1. That's a strike. That's a 9. The 15 is too high. 1-1, ground ball to the shortstop to throw out. out number one. One away, and that's going to bring up Thomas Perez. First time we're seeing him in the lineup. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be 6-4. Home run chance on a 1-17. That's a 5. However, Perez does not hit any home runs. 1-3, and that's going to be a single to Ramirez. So with that, Perez gets on with a single. All right, infield coming to double play depth as J.L. Towles comes up. Towles batting in 0.67. Strategy roll 12. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 3-4. Strikeout 15. That's a 2. Struck him out. 2 outs. We have a pickoff attempt. Strategy roll is a 20. And that is a 7, and that is a pickoff error. And with that, it got by Lee, and that's going to move Perez to second. So runner now in scoring position is Brandon Bakke comes up. Bakke batting a .333. Here's the pitch. 1-1, blank. 6-6, a line drive back to the pitcher. And that will retire the side. Takes it, throws it to first for the out. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 errors for the Astros, and 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Ryan Thiel, Henry Blanco, and Carlos Brano coming up for the Cubbies. Ryan Thiel batting a .476. Here's the pitch. 1-5. That's going to be a walk plus. We're going to add 11 to that. We had 10 for the walk plus. Ballpark comes into effect. That's where we add the extra +1. So we're adding an 11 to that. And that's going to be a 24. That's a 17. And they start off by walking Ryan. Next up, Henry Blanco. Blanco, first time we're seeing him in this replay. Infield coming in to double play depth. Strategy roll 16. Cubbies holding off. Here's the pitch. 2-1. Home run chance on a 1-3. The 8 is too high. And that's going to be 3-5. That's going to be a fly ball out there to Lee for out number 1. We have a steal attempt here for Ryan Thiel. That is going to be a 13. Nope, that's an 11. It's a -2 on that. And he got caught stealing. He tried to take second and got caught. Carlos Zambino up. Here's the pitch. 4-5, that's going to be a strike. That's a 17. The 20 is too high. 5-1, power hit to Pence. That's a 9, and that's a double. So Carlos on with a double. And with that, Carlos is on with a double. We're going to go to the top of the order. And here's Alfonso. Alfonso is 0-4. Walked his last time up. Did have a run scored. Strategy roll is a 9. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 1-6. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 14. That's a 2. And they struck him out. And with that, the Cubs leave 1 stranded, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the after 2, score tied at 2. We go to the top of the 3rd. It's Michael Bourne, Hunter Pence, and Darren Estrada due up for the Houston Astros. Here's the pitch to Michael Bourne. Bourne is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Carlos looks for the sign. He gets it. The pitch, 1-2, blank. 1-4. That is a single past Siriano. And with that, Bourne gets on, leads off this inning with a single. So, we have a steal attempt here. Michael Bourne's left, so that's going to be a -1. So it's going to be a 15 or less. Actually, that's going to be a 14 or less. Right? And that is a 9, so that's going to be a stolen base. And he makes it safely to second on that. It's the stolen base and how that is calculated. It is the runner's SB rating plus the pitcher's SB rating and the catcher's arm. So the catcher's arm is a -1. And then that's what this number here means that some of them have. So but Hunter Pence, he's 0 for 1. Struck out his last time up. 5-3, hit by pitch, that's a 4. Carlos gives a -1. The 12 is too high. So no hit by pitch there, 1-6, and that's going to be a fly ball to Siriano. Out number 1. With that, Bourne gets the whole side. They're not going to send him to third. And that is one away, runner on second, and that's going to bring up Darren Estrada. Infield staying at normal depth. Strategy roll 19, holding off. Here's the pitch. 4-4, strikeout 14, that's a 9. He struck him out. All right, Carlos Lee is 1 for 1. Hit that home run. Here's the pitch. 4-3, blank. 1-6, that is a double to Johnson. And the Astros now have a 1-run lead over the Cubs. And that's going to bring up Miguel Teja. Miguel is 1 for 1, also hit that home run. Here's the pitch. 1-5, that is a strikeout plus. So we add 10. We're going to add 2 to that, so we're going to add 12. That's an 18. That's an 18. And they struck him out looking. Struck him out looking. And the Astros leave 1 stranded. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Reed Johnson, Derek Lee, and Amaris Ramirez due up for the Chicago Cubs. Reed Johnson, 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch. 2-1. Home run chance on a 1-3. The 14 is too high. 2-2. That's going to be a double star 5. Fly ball out there to Lee. Looks for it, follows it, catches it, out number 1. Derek Lee up. Lee is 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch. 5-5, strikeout 11. That's a 20. The 20 is too high. And that is going to be 6-3. That is going to be a single. And Derek Lee gets on with a single. All All right. Here is Ramirez. Ramirez is 1-for-1 with a home run. Infield coming in to double play depth. He has 1-for-1 home run with a home run, a run, and 2 ribbies. Here's the pitch. 3-6. Strikeout. 9-16. Too high. 4-4, and that's going to be a single to Pence. All right, with that, we have to check now for additional base run. We have a 6. So with a 6 on runner, first runner advancement die. So we check that 6. Check the second die, roll of a 6 chart. So we're going to check that 4 there. Lead runner thrown out. So with that, Lee is thrown out, that's third. But if the trailing runner's BR is greater than or equal to the roll, he advances. That's a 4. Ramirez's base run is a 2, so they're going to hold him at first. They're not going to send him. And that is going to bring up Kiyosuke. Kiyosuke walked his last time up. Strategy roll 13. Here's the pitch. 6-3. That's a walk. That's a 14. The 13 in range. And they walk Kiyosuke. Mark DeRosa. DeRosa now up. DeRosa 0-for-1 on the day. Runners on first and second. Pickoff attempt. The 4. Not in range. So Brandon does not pick him off. 1-3. That's going to be a walk. 16. The 18 is too high. That's going to be a 3-6. 3-6 is going to be a fly ball out there to Lee. Lee, who makes the catch, follows it a little bit. Makes the catch. Plop. Back there by the ivy for out number 3. Too tight to the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. After 3, it's Houston 3, Chicago 2. We go to the top of the 4th. It's Mark Loretta, Thomas Perez, and J.R. Towles due up for the Astros. Here's Mark Loretta. Loretta's 0-for-1. The pitch. And that is going to be 2-3. 2-3 is a strikeout. That's a 9. That's an 8. And they struck him out. Out number 1, and that's going to bring up Thomas Perez. Perez is 1-for-1 on the day. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 5-6. 5-6 is a walk. That's a 1. The 2 is too high. 4-1. Fly ball out there to Siriano. Out number 2, and that's going to bring up J.R. Towles. Towles struck out his last time up. He's 0-for-1 on the day. Here's the pitch. 3-4, strikeout. That's a 15. That's a 14. And they struck him out. So, an easy inning to score. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Ryan Thierout, Henry Blanco, and Carlos Zambrano due up. I'm going to get that name right, chat. I'm going to get that name right, fans. Ryan Thierout is up. He's 0-for-1 with a walk. Here's the pitch. 2-5. Strikeout plus 17. That's a 4. And they struck him out looking. Next up, Henry Blanco. Blanco is 0-for-1 on the day. Here's the pitch. And then is going to be a 4-2. 4-2 is a home run. That's a 10. That's a 7. And Henry Blanco smacks one out of here. Solo home run for the catcher. And that's a fly ball out of here. And the Cubs tie this game up. And the crowd here at Wrigley Field goes wild. And that is going to bring up Carlos Zambrano. Zambrano doubled his last time up at bat. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be 3-3. 3-3 blank. 6-6. Ground ball to first for out number 2. We go to the top of the order. Here's Alfonso Soriano. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a walk, a strikeout, and a run scored. Here's the pitch. 2-5. That's going to be a strikeout plus. That's a 24. That's a 16. Struck him out. Struck him out in that 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. We go after 4. We're tied at 3. We go to the top of the 5th. It's Brandon Bakke, Michael Bourne, and Hunter Pence due up for the Houston Astros. Brandon Bakke 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. 3-6. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 21. That's a 20. Struck him out. All right. Michael Bourne, 1 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch to Bourne. And that's going to be 2-1. 2-1's a strike. That's a 14. The 18 is too high. Bourne, 3-4, double star 6. Fly ball to Fukudome for out number 2. Here comes Hunter Pence. Pence 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. The pitch. 4-6. Home run. That's a 12. The 13. A tad too high. 6-1. Fly ball to Fukudome. And that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's Reed Johnson, Derek Lee, and Amaris Ramirez due up for the Chicago Cubs. Here's Reed Johnson. Johnson is 0 for 2 on the day. The pitch. And that's going to be 1-6. 1-6 is a strikeout. That's a 12. That's a 3. Struck him out. Next up, Derek Lee. Lee is 1 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-5. 5-5 is a strike. That's at 11. The 12 is too high. 4-2 ground ball to Loretta. Out number 2. Next up, it's Amaris Ramirez, who's 2 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-6. 4-6 is a strike. That's a 9. The 20 is too high. 2-3, fly ball to Bourne. And that retires the side. No run. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. As the Astros retire the Cubs in order, 3 up, 3 down. After 5, score tied at 3. We go to the top of the 6th. It's Darren Estrada, Carlos Lee, and Miguel Teja due up for the Houston Astros. Here's the pitch to Derek Estrada. Estrada is 0 for 2 in the day with a strikeout. And that's going to be 3-1. That's going to be a strikeout. 14, the 12. Struck him out. 1 away. Here's Carlos Lee. Lee is 2 for 2 in the day. with a double, a home run. 5-4, that's going to be a walk. That's an 11. That's a 7. And they walk Carlos. They walk Carlos. The pitcher for the Cubs is also Carlos, too. So that's why I got a little bit confused. Strategy roll 7, infield coming into double play depth as Miguel Teja comes up. Teja is 1 for 2 in the day with a home run, a strikeout, a run, and an RBI. Here's the pitch. Carlos gets the sign. That's going to be a 5-6. That's going to be a walk. That's a 4. The 8 is too high. Teja 2-5, ground ball to first. And that is a double play. And the Cubs make it a double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's going to be Kiosuke, Mark, and Ryan due up for the Cubbies. All right, Kiosuke has 2 walks on the day. That is going to be a 6-6. That's a blank. A 1-6. Double star 2, and that's going to be a fly ball out to the Bourne. Out number 1. Mark DeRosa. DeRosa's 0 for 2 in the day. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a 6-4. 6-4 is a wild pitch. We're going to re-roll on that. 4-4, that's going to be a walk. That's a 16. That's an 11. And they walk Brandon, and they walk Mark. All right, with that, Brandon Bakke is now tired. And Ryan Thielot is up. Thielot is 0 for 1 in the day with a walk. They're going to let Brandon pitch still. Strategy rolls a 16, infield at double play depth. Here's the pitch to Ryan. That's going to be a 3-4. 3-4 is a range play. And that is going to be a 4-6. That's going to be a double star 1. And that's going to be a fly ball to Bourne. Bourne's range is on a 1-3. That's a 6. And with that, Thielot gets on. Mark DeRosa goes to second, gets the hold sign as Bourne tosses it over to Loretta to hold the runners. All right, Bakke tired now, and that's going to bring up Henry Blanco. Blanco is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. Strategy roll 14, infield at normal depth. 2-1, home run on a 1-3. The 9 is too high. 5-6, and that's going to be a line drive back to the pitcher. And the runners doubled up. And with that, they turn to double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. After 6, score's still tied at 3. We go to the top of the 7th. It's Mark Loretta, Thomas Perez, and J.R. Towles due up for the Astros. So with that, Carlos Zambrano can face 4 more batters. So this may be this is definitely his last inning as the Cubs bullpen is warming up. That 2-2 range play. So we start off with a range play. 6-4 ground ball to DeRosa. DeRosa's range is on a 1-3. That's a 3. Gets it, tosses it. DeRosa takes it, throws over to Lee for out number 1. Thomas Perez. Perez is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 2-1. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 13. That's a 6. And they struck him out. 2 outs, and that's going to bring up J.R. Towles. Towles is 0 for 2, struck out his last 2 times up at bat. Here's the pitch. 3-3, and that's going to be a walk. That's a 12. The 13 is too high. 6-4, fly ball. And sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Cubs edition. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 7th. We're here at the 7th inning stretch. So let's take a look at the score, at the box score so far between the Houston Astros and the Chicago Cubs. Astros scored in the 2nd and in the 3rd inning, so that's where we get the 3 runs and the 5 hits. Chicago, 2 runs in the 1st inning, 1 run in the 4th inning, and nothing since. They've been holding to a shutout innings with that. So with that, Brandon Bakke is now tired, so Bakke is going to be, they're going to relieve him. You know, they go out and say, hey, thank you for the nice job you did here. About that. So we have a switch. Right coming up. So let's see. Bakke will be up next on that. That's no, he's probably is. So they are going to bring in Oscar Ferrari. Now we have seen him. He has 3 innings pitched, allowed 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and 2 walks. Taking a look here at the stats. So for Brandon Bakke, he went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, 2 home runs, leaves the game with a 5.72 ERA. So he's going to face Carlos Zambino, Alfonso Soriano, and Reed Johnson. And with that, they're not... no, they are going to let him hit. They are going to let Carlos take this hit. And that is going to be a 5-3. 5-3 home run chance on a 1-19. That's a 7. That's a 4, and Carlos Zambino hits a home run. That ball is out of here. Home run, Carlos. And that ball is out of here, and that puts the Cubs up by a run. And we go to the top of the order. Here's Alfonso Soriano, who's 0 for 2 on the day. And that is going to be 2-5. 2-5 is at the ballpark. 1-1. Pop up back to the catcher for out number 1. Reed Johnson 0 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch. He struck out with a strikeout in today's game, 6-6. That's a strikeout. That's a 12. The 17 is too high. So no strikeout there for Reed. 2-1. Power hit to Bourne. That's a 9, and that's going to be a double. So Reed Johnson gets on with a double as Bourne has to go back to the Ivy. All right. With that, Derek Lee is up. Reed Johnson on second. Strategy rolls a 3. We are holding off on that. Lee, 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-3. 5-3 home run chance. On a 1-17, Derek Lee needs a 9 or less. The 16 is too high. 1-4 line drive to Teja. No double play there. And with that, Johnson stays on at second. 2 outs. Ramirez is up. He's 2 for 3 with a home run, or with a walk, and an RBI. Here's the pitch. 1-1. Home run. That's a sick one. That's a 16. And Ramirez hits another ball out of here. 2-run home run for Ramirez. Home run, and that gives the Cubs a 3-run lead here in the bottom of the 7th. They're going to go out there and talk to Oscar, and before they do that, telling the bullpen to warm up, because Oscar is tired. They are going to let him pitch to Kioske. We'll see what Kioske does. 1-1, home run. That's a 7. The 8 is too high. So Kioske, no home run there. Double star of 4. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. And he gets out of the inning. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. After 7, it's Chicago 6, Houston 3. We go to the top of the 8th. It's going to be Oscar Varelli, Michael Bourne, and Hunter Pence due up. Oscar Varelli not going to take the hit. They are going to bring in a pinch hitter. And they are going to bring in David Newhan. David Newhan to pitch. And with that, Carlos Zambrino is not going to take this hit. They are going to relieve him. We have a left, right coming up. So with that, they're going to bring in, I think they're going to bring in Neil Kotz. Yes, they are going to bring in Neil Kotz. All right, Neil Kotz. Let's take a look here. I think this is the first time we're seeing him. No, he's went 1 2/3 innings, allowed 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. No wins, no losses, and no saves. Here's the pitch to Neil, to David Newhan. Newhan 1-5 strikeout plus. Remember, we had 12. That's a 26. That's a 7. And they struck him out looking. All right, we go to the top of the order. Here is Michael Bourne. Bourne is 1 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-5 is a wild pitch. I'm going to re-roll the dice. Re-roll those dice. 4-3 strikeout plus. That's a 24. That's a 6. and they struck him out. Struck him out, and next up it's going to be Hunter Pence. Pence 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. 2 away. 2-5 blank. 3-2 ground ball to first. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th. And with that, we have a right coming up. And they're going to bring in... Houston is going to bring in who? They're going to bring in Fernando Nivi. First time we're seeing him in this replay. No wins, 1 loss, no saves, an 8.44 ERA, a 10 2/3 innings pitch, allowed 17 hits, 12 strikeouts, and 2 walks. So it's going to face DeRosa, Theod, and Blanco due up. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch. To DeRosa. DeRosa 5-6 range play. 2-5 ground ball to Teja. Teja's ranges on a 1-3. That's a 4. And it got past him. So with that, runner on first as DeRosa leads off with a single. All right, Ryan Theod up. Theod is 1 for 2 on the day. Infield coming into double play depth. Strategy rolls are turned off. And that's going to be 2-6. 2-6 is a walk. That's a 14. The 20 is too high. 2-2 ground ball to Loretta. And that is going to be a fielder's choice on a roll of 6. The play is on the batter at first. So with that, DeRosa will go to second. And the out is at first. We're going to go to double play depth as the Astros bring that in. And Henry Blanco comes up. Blanco is 1 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch. 1-2, double question mark. Single on a 1-5. That's a 4. And with that, DeRosa will come home to score. And that gives them a 4-run lead. And next up is the pitcher, New York Cots. Cots not going to take the hit. They're going to bring in Ronnie Sindo to come in. Sindo comes into the game batting a 500. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 6-3. 6-3 is at the ballpark. We're going to go to Wrigley Field. 3-1. Single to Lee. And with that, Blanco will go to second and get the hold sign. To advance to third, it's a -2. So with a 0, 1 or less, and the runner will hold. And next up, it's going to be Alfonso Siriano. Siriano's 0 for 3 on the day. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Infield at normal depth. Here's the pitch. 2-3, strikeout 14 to 17 is too high. 2-4, That is going to be a fly ball to Lee. Out number 2, Blanco holds. All right, here's Reed Johnson. Johnson is 1 for 4 in the day. Here's the pitch. He dealt with a double and a strikeout and a run scored. 2-3. That's going to be a strike. That's a 12. The 17 is too high. 2-5, and that is going to be a ground ball to Teja. And that retires the side. All right. So they are going to bring in let's see, they're ahead. Yeah, they're ahead by 4. So they're going to bring in Carlos. Yep. So Carlos Manuel is going to come in to close out the game. They're going to bring in their closer, Carlos. It's 1 run, 3 hits, no errors after 8. It's Chicago 7, Astros 3. But we head into the 9th inning, but will we see some 9th inning magic? 2 up for the Astros. It's Darren Estrada, Carlos Lee, and Miguel Teja. The Cubs are going to pull Ramirez at 3rd. And they're going to bring in Ronnie Sindo to take over at 3rd. So they're going to bring him in to the game. And that is going, and let's take a look here at the stats real quick. For Neil Kotz went 1 inning and allowed 2 hits. No ERA. All right. Carlos Manuel, let's take a look here. He has 1 save on the game. 2 innings pitched, allowed 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, and 1 walk. So here's the pitch. And that is going to be a 5-2. 5-2 is a walk. That's a 6. That's a 5. And they start off with a walk. Carlos Lee, here's the pitch to Lee. 2-6 walk plus, that's a 21. That's a 12. And they walk him as well. We found both walks so far, and 2 on, and that's going to bring up Miguel Teja. 3-2. Double star. Fly ball to Johnson. Out number 1, Darren Estrada holds. So with that, we are going to make a little change here. Estrada, they're going to try to get some speed on the bags. They're going to bring in Kazue Matsui to pinch run. And for Loretta, they're going to bring in Brad Asmus to come in to pinch hit. Asmus is batting a 125 as it comes into the game. 1 out, runners in first and second. That's going to be a 4-2. 4-2 is at the ballpark. 6, 3, however, that's a 20, so we're going to check no special K there. 6-3, double star 3, fly ball to Johnson. And that is out number 2, and the Astros are down. Houston down to their last out. Thomas Perez, 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Crowd on their feet at Wrigley Field. 6-1. Strikeout plus. That's a 23. That's a 3. Struck him out looking, and Chicago wins. And the Cubs defeat the Astros 7-3. Final line score coming right up. So with that, Carlos Zambrano gets the win. Oscar Varel draws the loss. And with that, the Astros drop to 1-6. Chicago goes to 5-1. Home runs in this game, Carlos Lee and Miguel Tejada both hit home runs. Amaris Ramirez had 2 home runs in the game. He has 5 home runs so far in the season. Carlos Zambrano hits a home run. And Henry Blanco also with a home run. Let's take a look here at the stats. Carlos Zambrano, 7 innings pitched, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, 2 home runs, ERA 3.86. Over on the Astros, Oscar Varelli draws the loss, went in 1 inning, allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs, ERA of 6.75. Fernando Nevin went 1 inning, allowed 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, an ERA of 9.0 for the game. And Carlos Martel went 1 inning, allowed 2 walks, 1 strikeout, no ERA. So that's going to do it for us here. Once again, the final score is Houston, 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors. Chicago, 7 runs on 12 hits, 1 error. So that's going to do it for us here at historic Wrigley Field. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up on your way through the turnstile. And until next time, I'm Scooney007. We'll see you for another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.